Hello guys, this is Void Spawn What Ifs. This is going to be my second ever video on YouTube. This is going to be what if Deku was a member of the Black Ops, the Japanese division that is. So, we currently start 5 years before Deku is born. His mother is currently in Afghanistan, treating an injured soldier. This soldier's name is, let's say, Bradley Austin. Yes, that sounds good. Well, he is a member of the American Special Ops, which was injured in his last mission. Inko's quirk in this timeline, let's say that instead of a small telekinesis quirk, it is going to be in a small enhancing quirk. She can enhance a tiny bit of a person's healing, endurance, stamina, or other physical abilities. Their mental abilities, like intelligence and all of that, she cannot enhance. And she can also enhance only one of them at a time. So, as Bradley is being treated by Inko, which is, in this timeline, is actually a army nurse, as she slowly treats him, and a couple of days gone by, Bradley becomes accustomed to Inko coming here and healing him, or taking care of him. After some time, he's let go back to the field again. And like that, several months later, Bradley comes back to Inko and asks her to go on a date with him. Inko accepts. And after that, after Bradley has been discharged from the Special Ops by the army, and well, both of them go to Japan. And they begin dating. In about 2.5 years, Deku is born. Yes, in that time they also married, and Bradley, Deku's now father, got a job at a mercenary company called Black Rose, and a military company which worked really together with Japanese special forces and the hero community. And well, Inko is also a part of that, working as a nurse there and overseeing medical stuff. And as Deku is born, he isn't fascinated by heroes anymore. He's fascinated by soldiers, weapons, and all of that jazz. His idol is his father, who fought in so many different battles and came out with so many scars. And also his mother, who, even though she knew that she would be in a place of danger, still volunteered to go as a nurse in an extremely dangerous area. Now, as Deku begins to grow up, his mother is wondering what his quirk would be. Oh, right, I did not say what Deku's father's quirk is. Deku's father's quirk is, well, basically, for those who play video games, aimbot. That is, he can control any and all any bullet which he fires. And, well, that is really it. Now then, 3 years later, when Deku is 3.5 years old, he goes to the quirk doctor, and well, they let him fire a gun. That is, not him, but somebody close to him actually fires a gun. Well, Deku has complete and all control over every single bullet which is fired in the vicinity of, let's say, 160 meters of him. He can control it. And if a bullet comes into his range, he can also control it. That being if somebody shoots from a sniper rifle which is 1 kilometer away, as soon as it reaches Deku's 160 meter area, which he can control a bullet through, he begins to control it. Although, after the bullet goes through 160 meters or out of his area, the bullet simply goes through a straight line like a real bullet could. Well then, that is his quirk. Well, one of them at least. His mother's and his father's quirks fused. Deku can either use that to control bullets, or he can enhance his abilities, that being physical abilities. And well, he can he must choose which one he wants to use. He cannot use both at the same time, although the limit which his mother, Inko, had, that she could only use one of her set abilities, like, you know, ability power up like endurance and stamina. He can power up everything in his body, including stamina, endurance, and all of that jazz, including his healing factor. Meaning that if somebody's arm broke and they would need about 3 months to heal, his arm would heal in a week or so. And after that, he is inside into his daycare. There he meets Bakugo, of course. And Bakugo is still the same sort of jerk, because he thinks that Deku's quirk is, well, rather useless. He can only control bullets, and that is it. And his enhancing quirk isn't that great as well. Nothing like Bakugo's explosion quirk, which was all flashy. But still, Deku did not get bullied as much. And also, instead of the nickname he got, Deku, which made fun of him, the people there gave him a new nickname, Ace, because he could control bullets. And one time, when they were out, he was actually able to control bullets of several marksmen which were training and came to show off their skills as a military conscription act to get children to join the army, or at least when they grew up to join the army. He controlled all of their bullets and hit 5 times. A pure ace. And that's what was his nickname going through. Now then, his father trained him how to use guns, how to properly wield them, and several other techniques. He taught him how to use knives, how to throw grenades, and how to use mortars. And that was basically Deku's life for 8 whole years. Learning from his father and learning from his father's friends, the other mercenaries in Black Rose. Black Rose being the mercenary company, as I said. Now then, when Deku is 15 years old, at the start of the anime, instead of going to UA, he goes to join in a military school. Let's say that Black Rose has their own specialized school for people who want to join them. Deku joins that. He begins to learn everything he needs to, from self-defense, what types of ammunition he needs, and to also learning about his quirk even more. And through hard training of several machine guns being fired at once and him being forced to control all of those bullets, his capacity for controlling bullets, well, not capacity, but rather the range of it, expanded from 160 meters to 240 meters. So, yes, he was growing rapidly, some would say. And well, as all of that went ahead, and oh, right, I forgot to say, everything which happened in UA is basically going on right now, except Deku isn't there. The entrance exam goes the same, except Mineta is disqualified, because the sheer fact that he somehow was able to get into UA is honestly laughable with his quirk. So let's say that instead of Mineta and Deku, since Jack was in a different school at the time, the military school, as I said, instead of them, let's say that that boy who can copy quirks, sorry, I forgot his name, from 1B, now he's part of 1A, and also the girl which has wines for her hair, also her, that both of them join in class 1A. And now, as that is going on, Deku is currently training how to become a proper, well, mercenary or a soldier, all depends on what he wants to become. And well, after some time, that is after a couple of more years, when Deku is 19 years old, and well, after that, Deku decides to go into the army's specialized training regimen. That is where they have to go through physical and mental training. Well, not training, more borderline abuse, as they were beaten and tortured to see which one of them would become the ideal soldier. After some time there, Deku passed, along with a couple of other people, which he became friends with. One of them being given the nickname Rhino, mainly because his quirk allowed him to become several times larger than his, well, regular self, and also several times stronger than him, and to also get into a blinding rage, which was extremely useful in certain situations, although not stealth missions, as all of you may know. So, that was Deku's best friend there, as both of them enjoyed being there extremely. And well, finally, after 2 more years of hard work, Deku and his best friend, Rhino, were finally able to join the Japanese Black Ops unit, or Special Forces, whatever you want to say. And now we're going to go into somewhere off, where canon doesn't go. Let's say that All For One is injured, just like in canon, but he has a bit more nomus. Shigaraki, and, well, Shigaraki tells his subordinate to open the portal. As he does, several dozen nomus enter into the Tokyo region. The heroes are trying to deal with them. All Might cannot do anything because currently as they are speaking, All Might and the rest of Class 1A are currently at the, well, arena, the USJ, currently training. At this time, the superior Nomu, the Black Ones, was sent there, along with several hundred villains, to keep Eraserhead along with All Might busy. And with that going on, All Might could not get into the Tokyo at the time, in the time which he needed to. So, Black Rose Mercenary was filed for the job, because they had a close relationship with the Hero Agency. So, that was their first ever real mission. Deku and Rhino were sent to suppress the Nomus and help out the heroes as much as they could, along with the police. Now, as all of you may see on the picture, this was the type of armor which Deku had. As you see, it has an advanced exoskeleton along with a pretty decent looking gun. Let's say that the gun was equipped with explosive rounds and armor-piercing rounds. You could change the magazines as you saw fit, because he was basically fighting against mindless monsters. And this wasn't the first ever Nomu attack which happened. So, as that went on, Deku and Rhino, along with several other squads of mercenaries from Black Rose, went ahead and entered Tokyo. The battle started. Several heroes had already died, along with dozens of police. The army wasn't involved currently, because they had better things to do. Although the mercenaries, as soon as they joined, Nomus started falling one after another. Although there were 2 high-end Nomus, both of them being the Black Ones. One with the ability to fly and super strength, along with, as all of you know, regeneration, and the other one being capable of shooting out lightning and regeneration. Endeavor and Best Genius were currently in Tokyo fighting against them. Deku went ahead and fought against 2 of the low-grade Nomus alone. He was capable of defeating one of them, but the other one got a jump on him and was able to toss him into a building. At that point, Rhino came over, entered his berserk state, and crushed the Nomu. Shots could be heard all around the city as the mercenaries, police, and heroes tried to fight off the Nomus. which at this point were getting lower and lower by each minute. While at the USJ, All Might and the rest of them were finally able to defeat the villains and Nomu. Although only a few heroes came to the USJ to help them, since, of course, most of them are currently fighting in Tokyo and defending the school, which was also attacked. And as all that went on, the battle was finally ended. All of the Nomus in Tokyo were gotten rid of, although not without any significant damage. A lot of heroes and a good amount of police were killed and injured. And the damage to the city was rather large, especially with Endeavor using his flames. And, well, after that, Deku and Rhino finally got their taste of what actual battle means. And after that, they returned back to their base. While the students in 1A, all of them fought extremely good, especially Bakugo, Kaminari, and also Shoto, Todoroki. All three of them fought exponentially, and actually received a high amount of praise, even though they did use their quirks, so the police gave them warnings, although not that harsh ones, because after all, they were able in defeating several Nomus. That is, not Nomus, but rather villains. Anyhow, after the USJ attack, which was settled, Deku began his, Deku, Rhino, and most of the other newcomers, which became part of the Black Ops, was sent ahead to go train in Russia, Siberia, to get accustomed to the cold, because after all, they were Black Ops. They needed to be prepared for everything. And on that note, I think that I am going to end it. It has been nice being here, and I hope that all of you enjoyed the video. This is me, signing off.